Some vines just all in the trees. We've got another bin popping up. Lots of turkey tail. And this forest has a lot of moss as well. So with how damp it is or how dewy it stays on the forest floor, it's a great home for all of these beautiful mushrooms to thrive and to grow out here. So I just want to keep checking back every now and then and seeing how they grow, and maybe just taking a few, keeping most for the forest, but if they get really big, I would like to take just a couple and practice with them myself. And we go onward. And it looks like I'm deep into the forest, but it's actually not that far off the path. The path is just over there. And see how many vines wrap around the trees. It's so gorgeous. It's very different than New Mexico, where I was living previously, but beautiful just the same. And how I navigate the forest is really just finding little landmarks. So because there's so many fallen trees and limbs out here that have the turkey tail, I kind of just have those as little base points to remember where I'm going and where I'm heading. Seems like some are growing on this one. Beautiful fungi. Beautiful friends. And we're back to the path. Path is right there. So nothing too deep into the forest. There's also some space that way that's all cleared out. Probably where some animals may like to lay down during the nighttime. So we can adventure over there at another time. But it is very pretty over there. A huge pine tree lives over there, and it's so beautiful. The way that it grows is kind of low to the ground, but it's so abundant, so large, so beautiful. And let's see if I can find my little friend out here. There is one singular flower that grows out here, and I think because of the rain, it's maybe getting a little too much water. But hopefully, when the sun comes back, it thrives again. These last few days, I haven't really been able to walk because, again, I didn't have the correct gear to do so. I had a pair of boots, but they're more of a canvas material, so they would get really wet, and I didn't want to ruin the shoes because of how dewy the ground stays out here. So my mom had brought up the fact that I might want to get new shoes, and with my Taurus stubborn mind, I said no, I'm okay with the shoes that I have. But she was correct. I was needing different shoes for this environment. So again, I've got new boots, and they are working perfectly, keeping the water out of my feet, and they are at a good length so that my skirts, my dresses, my pants don't reach the ground. Look how pretty. Beautiful pathway of the forest. I stay on the path for the most part, but I do like to adventure into the forest. Who knows what energies you might meet in the forest? You'll see me waving my walking stick a lot just so that I'm not walking into any spider webs. Love the creatures, but I could do without walking into the webs. How pretty. How green, how luscious. And as I spoke, I walked into a web, or at least my walking stick did. You can see it hanging a little bit right there. Yeah. But I love the change of the colors of the leaves. The red is such a vibrant red. I love to listen and to hear the music of the forest. Now, there is a log right there, and it has my eye every single time that I walk in the forest, and I think today I am going to go to it. Why not? It just calls my name every single time I walk through. So, this little vine here has got some pokey-pokes, some thorns on it, so we are going to be very gentle as we walk through. A beautiful fallen tree with so much moss on it. Let's see if it has any mushrooms on it. So, let's see if we can do this without getting poked. Okay. Oh, And we've got mushrooms right here. Let's try and get a little bit closer without disturbing the forest too much. So we've got a hole here, probably where someone is living. Don't want to disturb them. But you can see the mushrooms growing all along that little branch right there that's fallen off. I think this part's sturdy enough for me to stand on and hop across. Now the reason for the walking stick, it acts as a third leg or a third arm. So there we go. More turkey tail. And I'm hooked. Look how beautiful the moss is. And again, the trail is not too far. It's right there. So I know where I am. Another mushroom. So as you can see, my stick can go a little deep here. So the ground over here is maybe very, very, very soaked. I think I will venture back. Maybe try again when it's not so wet, so that I don't sink and can't get back out. I love walking with the walking stick. Again, it's like a third leg that you can use to hold your weight or test the ground. Oh, and we've got more turkey tail on this one. For balance and for hoisting yourself. So we've got another pokey poke over here. Let's see if we can tamp that down and I can walk right across. Ooh. Satisfying adventure. I wanted to look at that log for so long, and I'm glad I did. Found some really nice mushrooms. There's so many mushrooms growing in this forest. I could spend hours and days out here and could probably find so many mushrooms because there are just so many fallen branches out here. So I was right over there. And one of the things that I enjoy about exploring a forest is finding new or finding remembered medicines out here. But also, there's just so much. It awakens my childhood. It awakens my childlike curiosity. And I allow it to just kind of take me wherever it wants to go, you know? And I use my childlike wonder to explore, but then I am able to also tap in to my higher self, my intuition, so that I know when not to go too far, when to stop. I'm going to walk into a spider web, or maybe approaching an animal. So right now I feel called to go this way. And I've also found other mushrooms growing just in the grass area. But for the most part here beside the forest, it's a lot of turkey's tail, which is amazing. Turkey tail is so amazing and good for you. All the mushrooms are good for you. Well, a lot of the mushrooms are good for you. But it's just so vast out here. So many possibilities. I think I could have actually accessed that trunk from this side a little bit better. So let's walk over here. And again, the forest floor is just so wet. Woo! Another spider's web. Again, why have the walking stick? Because sometimes I'm not paying attention, but the walking stick is always there seeing. So much. So much to explore. Let's go back to the trail. Well, I definitely found some new spots for mushrooms, which is exciting. Because now I get to go back there and I get to watch their progress, their growth, see how much they've grown. My being is like, let's go this way, let's go that way. And I just want to be mindful of the forest. I want to be careful in the forest because I'm very new to the area still and I don't know all of the different critters that are out here. I know there's wild turkeys out here. I know that there's coyotes, definitely lots of birds that you can probably hear in the background. But I'm not sure of all of the different plants out here in Alabama. So I need to do my research and see all the different greenery that's around here so I'm not accidentally walking into something, touching something that could be harmful for myself. And I know that there's also deer out here because I found a deer skull the other day when I was doing a meditation out here. So there's so many animals out here. There's definitely lots of rabbits that usually like to come across on this side of the path. They stay mostly in this area where it's low bushes. Usually I find or I see a couple while walking back to the cabin. Here we've got a pine tree. I think there's one a little bit further ahead that has some good pine cones on it. Let's see. Here we go. Some pine cones. Right there. Boop. More pine cones. Very tall tree. I love all the diverse plants that are out here. All the diverse medicine that's out here. Pine is a great medicinal herb to use, medicinal plant to use for many different things. And maybe I'll make a different video just talking about that pine tree and all that it holds for medicine. It isn't a very long walk in the forest, but if you go off the path, it can be a little bit longer, a little bit more trekking, but it's a good walk. It's a good time to just breathe in all the fresh air, all the greenery. And I'm glad that I can be out here even though the floor is so wet. My shoes are a different color now, but they are protecting my feet. And that's exactly what I was needing, so I can continue to enjoy these walks outside every single day. And that is the end of my walk in the forest. I am so glad that I decided to turn the camera on and talk with all of you, show you some stuff that's out here, and I'm really looking forward to sharing more, especially the mushrooms, but all the other medicines that are out here. We are always surrounded by medicine, and all we have to do is look. All we have to do is take that opportunity to explore, to do some research. So I will see you guys in the next video. Namaste.